Angels, Yunsu and Conchita. We got a lot more in store here at the Free Fire at EWC 2026. Again, Paris can only get more and more lovely with these actions as we quickly drop into map number 2. And this time we're going to change it up a little bit. We did mention earlier on that the map rotation will be slightly different today. And AG.AL have started off strong with a booyah. So let's see if they can keep that train going.
It is Solara that we drop down to. And another opportunity for the teams at the middle order as well as at the bottom. And you can already see a quick swap because of how Titan Esports Club played. And we mentioned this. They need placement points. They instantly got it. And now up.
And now they are in a great spot. Yeah, we cool. We complete each other's sentences. But I will say that whatever we sort of like set up yesterday is slowly coming true, right? We talked about Demon Sprite needing to come up. And again, taking a fight with Paradox early on. It's Aswap that gets wiped out first. Enrique, we see here, he has great survival instinct from game 1, but top 16 is going to hunt him down. Aswap instantly brought back. TEC now joins the fight. That is a team that we've been watching out for at the start of day 2. Najat in the fray of things. Rahat also coming in and Blaze slicing through the ranks of Demon Sprite.
Oh no, Aswap in the mid-air has been spotted by Gun Dynasty and he will be taken down. Demon Sprite are losing players once again. Paradox get eliminated in the mix of this. And Paradox, who just got pushed to the bottom 2, will also suffer another loss right at the start of our Game 8, Match 8.
Talk about kicking them while they are down and they are out. Paradox, a very unfortunate early exit, completely swarmed by multiple teams in the earlier stage. Whether it's desperation or a change of pace for some of the bottom dwellers, it has been working out in favor of teams like Apex Gaming, Demon Sprite, Titan, DRS. I mean, even for GD, able to pick off a couple of stragglers on their own. But it does come at a cost of teams who are just half a second slower to respond.
DRS want to be the quickest one to respond right now. They did spot AG.AL, but they take the fight to Titan Esports Club and Najad is taken down. And it is the wisest calls I feel right now coming in from DRS and they're making a run for it. Rahat and Blade, they just have the stairs that they are being protected by, but DRS, they are on a charge. They want to go for a hit. Adu was backing off, uses the chrono and is now safe and sound, but at least this gives away the position of where the players from Titan Esports Club are. But it's only these two. The other players are in the other direction, revived and are healthy.
Pratik is actually getting pressured as well, forced to take the zipline away. Takuri actually getting tagged in the meantime, was brought down. But this was sort of like the demise of Paradox Gaming. A very quick and painless one. At least they take the bottom spot. Aurora still in this game, which is a blessing in disguise if you are a Malaysian team supporter here. But Blade just absolutely popped Rasha. Great shot from afar. Rahat call in for reinforcement. Aurora this time stand their ground and will not be taken out by AG.AL in the earlier stages. Jun up the stairs. Cypher barricades himself safely. And Axel with the follow-up. Cypher is out.
He'll be confirmed. It's up to Barros and Dew, who's in his flight mode right now, dropping in air. If he gets spotted out, trouble will strike. And Aurora, they need a game like this. They need a recovery game, and it might happen on Solara, where everybody's forced for a fight. Barros tried to hold his own, but he'll not be able to. At least the revive happened. Therefore, there is still chance for AG.AL, and they don't have to be worried about. However, Aurora, they needed these 4 crucial 4 eliminations.
The good news for Aurora is that they are not close to the bottom 2. But bad news is that they technically only have 5 games to play because game 1 they didn't really get anything done. So the catch-up game, there's a lot more urgency for them compared to the rest of the teams. And one of the teams that is in no rush at all is EVOS. And so far playing on Solara, it's one of the maps that they are slightly more comfortable in. Loud Snickers playing a Vivid Stroax, completely found out in the open. And Loud Snickers with their first point.
Loud are playing, I think, a brilliant game so far. Ending up in the top 4, making sure they stay the top 4 way that they are in. And it continues that they make it to the final as well. We've already been seeing their counterparts from Brazil. MIB are lost in Flux, so they're keeping their toes matched up, and I think that's what Loud want to do. And if that's a majority of all the Brazilian teams who made it here to EWC, all going to the finals, there is a big chance for them to walk away with being called the champions.
It's a lot of pressure also, because when we look at even I want to say from the earlier days until now, you would expect teams from Thailand and Brazil, if they qualify to a tournament, they're expected to all make it to the grand finals. It is quite the weight to shoulder, and especially for Loud, who has been on the big stage. They've missed out if they're not, they don't have 100% attendance, but when they're there, a lot of eyes are on them, right?
Yeah.
Aside from Fluxo, like Loud is the second team that you sort of want to make it to the finals and give a good match, but it has always been so close.
But Aurora also want to make that happen, and that's the reason this challenge happens. However, Jun's lost. That is Rasha coming in.
No way!
He puts Sue is also down. Confirmations. Aurora are losing players one after another. That's Rasha for you. He once again, he was back in action. AG.AL spotted. AimGod puts him down, and it's the Axel. Can he put the chopping block out of Evos, or will he be found out? Damage done, HP lost, his position completely compromised. It's just a boulder, and the direction that he's running away, I don't see a vending machine to help, nor a team to help out. And Axel will just try and bide time for the time being because Evos have a distraction.
Yeah, Demon's Pride bailed Aurora out of that. It was a missed opportunity. Aurora had that bit of a mechanical error, caused them to be in this spot, but again, Demon's Pride, who are also hungry for some points, they ended up being the intervention that Aurora desperately needed in times.
This is what I was talking about. And you see how the bottom teams are now fighting for eliminations. They will go for the top 4 teams are already getting their best.
And that is the best part right now of this lobby. Desperation is a double-edged sword.
Yep.
And he has been empowering some of these teams so far. The risk, definitely not as great as the reward. Good ratio there. Even TAG finds himself on the feet. Just a quick reminder at the end of this, 2 teams are going to have their keys fed into the crusher.
Yeah.
Always a sad side, because man, such great accessories. But that's the nature, the brutality of a competition. Let's see what this circle brings us, because game 1 was brutal. And game 2, a little bit more tame, but plenty of open areas.
Open right now is going to be a fight between Buriram and Evos, who just got revived. However, it's only one of the players getting stuck between the lot of Buriram at Eco Drain. And I think he'll be found very soon, but team finding players are tagged. That's Team Apex Gaming. More eliminations coming their way. They're climbing up the ranks, making sure if they have an opportunity, but they need a lot more. They need points closer to 30 in total. Maybe a Booyah also needed if they want a run going towards the top 4.
And the bailout earlier on, the unintentional one, gave Aurora time to bring the whole squad back, right? We look at the separation between Falcons and Aurora. It is 49 points. Made worse by the fact that Aurora didn't really get to play the first game, so it is a tall task to expect Aurora to catch up and find a tie, but it's good enough to remain in the top 10 and make it to survival stage tomorrow. As DRS looking for a rotation, Loud doing the exact same thing, but they might be beelining straight into Demon's Pride.
Demon's Pride, they just got eliminations from Evos. They have a compound that they're holding. Looks to be a better game. Loud have just found their one here. AG.AL, in the meantime, they're finding the players of Evos, and Evos seem troubled after they were about to convert on Demon's Pride. Wherever they try to head out, they've been spotted, taken down, and eliminated. Abax being chased by AG.AL, and he will be put to rest as well. And that is Evos losing their players. One last survivor is AimGod. Only gets coins now, but where is the vending machine? On one end, there's Buriram. On the other end, AG.AL, and right in front now, Demon's Pride as well as Loud going in for a fight, and it's going to be Loud putting Azwap down, and the entire squad within a whiff gets eliminated.
A full blitz from Loud again. Their execution in these quick hits are so efficient. They make sure that the fight ends within 15 to 20 seconds so that there's time for them to recuperate if a second team does arrive. And it's something that has defined Loud's playstyle in competitive Free Fire. The Wonder Key gets brought back, but that's the most that AimGod could do for the team. And right after that, Axel finds a pickoff. And it's the same situation that Evos frequently find themselves in, playing the survival game.
As of now, I think that's the mantra for them. They're unable to find a footing to just go for fights, and they've been just chased by teams. Put them down one after another, and DRS wanted to start out strong. The real soldiers using UAV to just get a grasp of information around. They spot another and they do destroy. Strox, he is the sniper. He's the one who finds a lot of value, but so far for DRS, at least today's start in game number 1 was decent, and out of that, Solara right now hasn't found much.
And it's a team that is also a first-timer on the EWC stage as well. Finally getting what people say they deserve over their counterpart back in the region. AG.AL now facing off against BRU. The same face-off as round 1, but we might find an early ending as Jonah with a good hit on the deal. Saifa still pushing forward with support from his teammate Wasana though will win that fight, and this time BRU, they will show AG.AL that once is enough. Barros is poking it out of there, but has to go into the blue with no coins at all.
You could see how clever that fight was. They used the Steffi, no throwables that could have been dropped by the side of AG.AL, went in for a 4-forward fight, guns all out, and Buriram had the better of it, and AG.AL could do nothing of it. It's just very strategic play coming through, and this is what makes champions. And you mentioned Buriram, they want their cabinet with an EWC trophy, and this could be one of their opportunities.
Yep, it's the final piece of the puzzle, and how poetic it is that the final piece of the puzzle is fitting the key into the plaque. It's going to be a lot of stories being completed. I think, again, for BRU, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for that to happen. Alu ends up stepping on a landmine, and that should be the end of DRS as Guasha finds Pratik. Point number 7, number 8 for the Brazilians. DRS, they were just trying to put up a fight, but unfortunately, not enough firepower in this case.
Trap mentioned it's time for Brazil, it's time for Loud to get this trophy, and he is doing it for the team. Playing together, the last man makes a run, but how far can he run? Loud have another challenge, that's going to be Aurora this time. Back and forth, the compound was cleared by Loud. They took Demon's Pride out, DRS came for a challenge, they were pushed out, and now Aurora. Is the story going to be any different? Loud are going to just get eliminations after eliminations, and highest so far here on Solara, they're sitting at 9 in total.
The property value of that compound is only going to keep on increasing with so much visitations. KD got, with the help of Shoto, was able to take out Barros, and that spells the end for AG.AL in game 2. 8 teams remain, Falcons still healthy, Sharu getting chased down. It's Gun Dynasty not really having the best of time, and Pina finds the 3rd point for his team.
One last survivor from Gun Dynasty, that's the only one right now. But on the other end, Aurora, this real estate, as you already mentioned, it is just Loud's. They've written it down, they've cemented it, and it's going to go down ages, at least here on Solara. And they're at the dead center of the circle, so nobody's going to push them out. Maybe the circle itself decides to make a very hard shift, and then Loud would have to change the position.
And even then, wow, they don't have to. But the circle, consistent with what we've requested, at least for today, give Loud a bit of a compound, but most of the safe zone is out in the open. Dinoc is scanned out, so someone knows that Loud is in that compound with 12 eliminations to boot. BRU should show up on the radar any time now. I believe the Dinoculus, it's a good chance it came from EVOS or even TAG, who are now making their appearance. Can Loud hold back the 3rd wave of challenges?
Team Apex Gaming, they need these points more than Loud. The challenge has to be very critical on the hit. DRS were in the same compound, but Loud were able to turn it around, and yes, a little active in terms of their approach, going a little ham against Loud while there were landmines all across. And even right now, the Gatling gun being placed, the Minotaur, it could be trouble. Riptide Rhythm on the other end coming in from Falcons to break the defenses of Buriram. Spotted out in the open was Jonah. He backs off with his teammates, making sure this fight instantly doesn't replicate to eliminations on either end.
I mean, Team Apex Gaming a lot more patient. Something that I think is going to be the main difference maker between what we saw from Aurora, right? Well, a lot more in your face. Wanted to make more moves. Falcons also starting to feel a bit of that jitters. DRS planting themselves on the low ground as Ray out in the open will be picked up by Guaksha. So that's the 13th point for Loud Snickers. But the rest of EVOS, even if they get through Loud, they still have to do a DRS. Apex, what was that?
That was a big surprise. Nobody expected him to be behind enemy lines. And Rasha being the distraction. And he's still firing. Abax gets another player from DRS, but they instantly put glue walls and stall that at least for the time being. Abax, can he find more? Rasha on the other end. These two players on 2 different directions trying to corner a team, and Rasha spots Falcons. Damage being done. Finds the knock. Can he find a confirmation? No, again, glue walls being blocked on any approach coming in from EVOS.
Yeah, Rasha himself, 6 out of the 7 eliminations this game for his team. Him and Apex completely separated, and Trap will take care of his teammate. The Wonder Kid left to his own devices, and now the circle closes in. Even Lau will have to start evicting the compound. Riptide Rhythm goes absolutely wide there from TAG. So Falcons not really threatened, and they have such a good spot perched up on this boulder.
It looked like it was going to be Loud earlier, but right as now, as you mentioned, yes, it is Falcons. They have the best position to hold every team off. The circle's about to close in the next 10 seconds, and also it's shifting. Teams better be ready for this. Wolverine gets taken down by Moshi. A very small, slight angle where he found Wolverine down, but I think it should be an instant recovery. Not much to be worried about. But Team Apex Gaming, they have to put them down right here at the hut. But Buriram now decide to go challenge and get closer. Falcons trying to hit shots, but none of them connect, and Buriram make it safely.
And the result between BRU and TAG comes down to how much can Falcons change the course of this battle. The glue wall from BRU will give them some space to work with. Wasana being given one more glue wall as he did ran out of resources, but BRU decides that they can't bomb rush this. In fact, it's TAG that responds onto Falcons. Rashak gets freed up, and now he books it for the building where Loud and DRS are perched at. Launchpad being used as well. BRU now arrives on top of the roof. The reposition enabled by the chaos. BRU now in prime spot.
However, Loud are taking away those eliminations, stealing it away. Damage being done by Buriram, but Loud, they are getting it all. It looks unstoppable. Russia is in a very compromised position. So is Keroro from Falcons. How drastically this fight changed from Falcons winning it to almost now losing it, and now Team Apex Gaming, they're making a rush out in the open. Keroro has nothing to say, and Shoto finds it. And right now we have the best 5 teams looking forward to points. Falcons are out of the race, and Team Apex Gaming now move to that prime position.
They will have to relocate because the circle decides that will be the case. Evos eliminated down to top 4, and TAG ever so close. And so far they will be unbothered just for an instant, as DRS is going to be the one that faces resistance. Lau, attention put onto the captain Jonah. BRU under pressure. Wasana responds from long range. They need to keep Jonah alive, and Jonah is the anchor that cannot break, but Lau is putting on immense pressure by just rushing in. Alu gets taken now off screen by Trap, and BRU able to retreat to a safe space. TAG now needs to catch up.
Just like how out in the open Buriram made their rotation, even Loud managed to, with a plethora of glue walls, lay down the land and they walk across. They're closer than ever. Team Apex Gaming in the meantime, just because Loud decided to rotate out earlier, now they have an opportunity. Jonah finds Takuri, the last one from DRS, and now Team Apex Gaming have an opportunity because Loud and Buriram are close together. However, Get High, he is shooting the players of Team Apex Gaming and not letting them slide down the hill.
This is the final lap for Apex Gaming, and hold my hand, Lucifer, because we might be witnessing history here. The top 3 teams, 2 of the front runners still with the full squad left alive. But Team Apex Gaming have the high ground. They have couple of moments, couple of instances where the blue zone will make the difference, and TAG, they are in such a prime position to get this pickoff.
Loud, they decided to make a rotation earlier than Buriram, but Buriram had the position and Loud are trapped because the zone's closing in. Glue wall's not working out. Kerrygon finds the opening.
And they do it here. TAG, the faster they get rid of Lau, the better they are for him. And Lau, you know that the Brazilians, they don't back down and they are ready to take that fight. The cluster would have been nice if it connected, but now Loud are out of vision, and BRU into the fray.
Team Apex Gaming, they have an advantage. Loud have a safe spot. BRU are out in the open.
Riptide Rhythm.
It's breaking their defenses one after another. Shoto has had a great start in this game. 5 eliminations already, and a KD got hit again. Wasana is down. Make it Get High. Wolven finds one more. Team Apex Gaming are also assisted by Loud. Loud are taking away the eliminations, and Team Apex Gaming will not be happy about this.
This is looking good. TAG have a chance. Jonah being pressured by Lau. A distraction, they're eliminated. TAG in a spot to make history here against Lau. BZP in the front. Shota with the first one. Can they find a conversion? Lau down low in hell. Guaksha is down. BZP to follow. Team Apex Gaming